All right, y'all. We're not going to listen to the full mantra today. Hello, good afternoon, man. It's been all day. I've been so busy today, you guys. And I'm finally here. And I decided these are actually going to be readings, but real quick before I get started on the readings, make sure that you guys hit the subscribe button. If you need a private reading, the link to my website is below, or just contact me at my email address, okay? Or either call me, okay? Because really, to be honest with you, right now, hey, Miss Likeable and Mimi, how you doing? Right now, I haven't gotten my credit card processor integrated, and that process has been so kind of, I don't know, stressful. I think I was kind of overdoing it though, because I was trying to apply for several at once. And I kind of was doing it wrong when I did that. So it got kind of frustrated, and that's what inspired these readings, because you know how when you have all of the blueprint for the things that you want to achieve in life, and you have someone that's trying to be negative, or just that, do you ever feel that with everything that you do, you try to move forward, you try to persevere, but it just seems like it's always something trying to block you? And I'm dealing with blockages as well. And I'm a high priestess. So I know that there are some people that, because life would be simple, you just go out and get a checking account if you have a job, and then the job direct deposits the money into your account and then bam. But when you're a business owner, it's a totally different thing. Okay. So, and I got kind of stressed out like a few minutes ago because the lady called me back and she was telling me about all these fees. And I was like, girl, no. I was like, I am not interested in that, and I think I'm just going to tell her, no, I'm not interested in that. Because, if anybody signs up for her, for whatever she was offering is just being robbed. And there's no need for us to go through that. Because it's like, look, lady, I may be, okay, they consider psychics high risk, which in my opinion is discrimination. That's what I think. I think it's discrimination personally. Okay. Oh Lord, we have a troll in the chat. Bye, troll. Okay. So guys, I meant to come to you guys last night, but just to let y'all know, I did go to court, on the whole landlord thing, and everything worked out perfectly. Like everything worked out to my advantage, especially it was more than what I could have asked for. I'm not going to get into detail, but it all worked out. And no, I'm not being evicted. But because the landlord did that, it's still a negative on me. So that's another example of, and a lot of the times you can go through that and it's really not your fault. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll be some stuff that's unfair and you like, wait a minute, that's unfair. This negative person would be able to affect. It was the first time I had ever met this man. We had to go to mediation and we made an agreement in mediation, but it was still annoying. I was there until like 8 o'clock at night. It was raining. I had to drive home with one eye. No, I'm joking. So yeah, it just to think about like how hard to progress in this world, especially when you're a woman. And so you guys know that I'm looking for a place too. So I called this one person and he sounds like he's a black man, but he's just so negative. And I started telling him, I was like, well, he said, I've been doing this for 15 years. And da da da. I said, and he was literally, he didn't know, like he just began to like, and so just for me, I don't understand why. I don't understand. Now, this is what I don't understand. I don't understand the current obsession with black men always constantly trying to destroy black women like that. And you know what? I don't even want to do business with them anymore. And that's sad. And I am not that type of person. I am literally not that type of person. There's this one black guy that I do plan to do business with. It's just gonna take me a couple of more days on some other stuff, but like literally it just I'm sorry, okay. So we're gonna look at how negativity could be affecting your life. Because remember when the landlord went and did that, there were people it wasn't, don't take this personally, but the first thing was, she's getting evicted. She's going to be out in the street. And that's not even like, guys, if I could only tell you how wonderful the judge was. I mean, you know what? Okay, this is going to sound weird. When I walk into the courthouse, right? The security guard is like, I done seen you somewhere before. I was like, no, it's the first time I ever been down here. He's like, well, maybe you got a doppelganger, right? I'm like, yeah. So In the courtroom, the judge is like, do you know that the judge had stopped and asked one of the people a question? And he was like, why are you doing all those fidgety movements? He was talking to somebody else that was there. And he was like, why are you doing all those fidgety movements? Looks like you're possessed or something. And he was talking about witches and stuff. And I was like, oh my God. And remember, I told y'all that because I had another client yesterday that won a court case again yesterday. And then I went and won my court case. But it was so weird because the judge was just so nice. And we went to mediation, came back. And, when the judge swears you in and he says, okay, do you agree with this? And he was talking about Halloween and he just like, it was like I connected with him. Or so life is like a dream, you guys. I swear, it's so weird. It's so weird. Yeah. So anyway, I do believe that this is the first thing that I want to tell you guys, and I am going to throw the cards. I believe that it takes patience. Number one, you just have to be patient. Okay. It's going to take me till at least Thursday or possibly Friday, but more than likely by Thursday to get my new credit card processor integrated into the website. So that's just a couple of more days, and the only thing that I need is a letter from the bank and stuff like that, and I can get a very good deal on a processor or whatever. And then when I start my shop, they'll even be able to give me equipment for people to, pay their to pay for their stuff when I get my shop. So, it's good, but you just have to be patient. And you know what? I believe that God truly does take care of us. I believe that having trust and having faith in your spirits and in God, that everything's going to be okay. It always does. So it just kind of got overwhelming after I talked to that last person. Then I called the other sensible person that, I really had a, she was like, no, she was like, you're not going to have to worry about that here. I was like, wow. So anyway, spirits, what general, we're going to draw out an officiator for this reading and I think it is demonic though. I really do, because for some reason, when I talked to that one person, it just kind of brought down the day, even though I know there's other options. I think her energy, and she was just like, yeah, this is all I have. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, you have a great day. She was like, you want to think about it? And like, not really, but you can send me your info. Okay. So I don't know what people's deal is. That's just like yesterday. Somebody decided to text me probably about an hour after I went live talking about other payment options, talking about Western Union is going to shut you down if you do too many transactions. Western Union lets you receive and send up to 10 to 20 or 30,000 per month. I was like, what are you talking about? They are not anything like, it's a totally different thing. It's a money wiring system. It is a totally different thing. And, I don't know what's up with people. People are just obsessed with being negative towards people. And it was totally untrue. It was like, no, actually, and they finally gave me my credit too, thank God. It literally took 10 days. But I'm like, what is up with people being so negative, especially towards women? Leave us alone in our businesses. Stop always trying to be negative towards women. I have the right to come online and tell my clients what they need to know about purchasing spell work through me. So for you to just think it's an opportunity for you to be negative is just disgusting. So I have a demon literally following me around, possessing certain people. I think that demons can take over certain people. It depends on how sensitive they are. So, all right, spirits, who wants to officiate? Okay, the Six of Swords comes up. That's my card right there, y'all. Yeah, well, yeah, they do know that I'm a witch. And that's another thing. That's another thing. It's like, look, I'm a witch, but I'm not stupid. But the guy that I spoke with earlier today, he was actually a black man and he was really being very aggressively negative towards me. And he was like, I'm just telling you what I know. I've been doing this for 15 years. And I told him, I said, listen, I said, I actually used to work in property management. And he just hung up. Black men do not want a woman that is smart. They don't, and I wasn't even talking. They just don't respect intelligence. They want us to be totally stupid. Totally stupid. And then they'll go and laugh and talk about how stupid we are, which is a lie. So I'm really starting to question the whole thing because I'm way too intelligent and it bothers my spirit. Girl, this man had a Chicago, a DC number. He didn't even have an Atlanta number. So evidently he must be from DC or something. I heard it was very negative down there. Very negative. So my heart goes out to a lot of you women, especially you guys, but don't worry about it. We will have the credit card processor integrated. In the meantime, you can contact me about payment. Okay. So it's real simple. In fact, I don't even have to run around picking up money from Western Union. I'll give you my account number and you can transfer it directly into it. Okay. So, yeah, I just was like, okay, so Spirit, show me. So the Six of Swords officiates. So again, the Six of Swords does take patience because as you are on your journey, and just make sure that you keep yourself calm and that you ask the spirits for peace and calm because as soon as I got up this morning, I was doing stuff, I was ripping and running and stuff, and I had to stop and slow down after that telephone call and would light me a white candle because I was like, oh hell. And then I felt all kind of negativity and stuff like old girl was trying to psychically vampire off of me or something. It was like, lady, are you out of your mind? I wish I would pay you that much to process my credit cards. I wish I would. Hello, Juju. Are you Juju Jones? What's up, Ivy Murphy? How y'all doing? So here's the thing. If you had your business, I would never be negative about it. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, I ain't seen you in a minute. Okay, so Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Spirits, what are you seeing? How are you seeing negativity affect each zodiac sign? I'm curious as to what we're going to see. Because you know what? These readings actually help me too, believe it or not. So I go back and listen to my own readings. They're very, very negative down here, especially the men. And then also I noticed this other lady that I spoke with today. She was and so it's really insane. But here's the thing. It's going to happen at the right time. So patience is what is needed. So this is going to be spirits. Let's look at the rest of October is what we'll look at. And because I just started to get really stressed out. And then when I called the other lady back, she was like, no, she said, just get the letter from your bank and we'll get it processed for you, and you don't have to worry about all of those fees. It is going to cost me a monthly fee, of course. Now, this person was saying their monthly fees was $79 and there's other fees. Some months they're going to charge you $200. I was like, no, you're not, because I'm not going to. So I think that, people are sometimes banking on you being stupid or something. First of all, I have history. I have 4 years of history of providing my services with only one chargeback ever out of thousands of orders. So, and Some of them do take that individually, on account. And if you guys know, if you're a psychic and you know the card processor, if you could please maybe inbox me and tell me who you went through, because they do literally discriminate against psychics. Like a lot of these companies, like Square, Stripe, they are not open to psychics or occult items, as they call them. So I think those are Christian based businesses personally. Cause Square treated me like crap. And I'm gonna tell you, don't even go to them. Same thing gonna happen to you, honey. And I did spiritual work and everything. And if Jamila's spell didn't work, we all know what's up. Okay. Because my spells always work. And it's listed on their website. It is. It's listed on the website that they don't take psychics or occult stuff. So I just didn't check it. So that was actually my fault. But you know, you live and you learn. You have to learn things in order to teach. So now when I'm getting people set up for their businesses and stuff, you know, I can give them a list of people that, you know, and it may be an application process, but it's still worth it because you will get your credit card processor. All right, so Aries, you guys got the Fool card. So many of you are trying to start over. I feel as though there was possibly some issues, maybe to where you have possible trust issues, and it kind of makes you sort of get riled up, but instead of you just like relaxing and just kind of letting it happen, I do believe that most of the things that you want, which I feel it has something to do with love, money, survival. Everybody wants a new house right now. Everybody either wants a new house or they're either trying to clear their house, or so I can see that there's a lot of people that are moving either physically or metaphorically trying to get their mind off of negativity. And there's quite a few people that I can see that have negative thoughts that they can't seem to get rid of. So the Fool card for the Aries, it does represent that you don't have to worry as much as you do, Aries. Like the worrying is actually what slows things down. Your energy of assuming that things are not going to be good is what causes things to kind of turn out bad for you. Now, I will tell you that the Fool does represent new beginnings, and sometimes the Fool can represent victory and success. Spirits, give me some clarity. All of these things that happen, yeah, it's got something to do with an air sign, which is either a Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius, and so that's understandable. I've been seeing a Gemini or either a Virgo in particular. Okay, and I feel as though it was a really, really, you were dealing with isolation and then also mind fuckery is what you were dealing with, is what I can see. The Three of Pentacles comes up. It did have something to do with money, career, as well as, learning how to handle things as an adult, learning how to not throw a temper tantrum, because sometimes, like, especially the way they got stuff set up with your credit. Okay. And I do have a honey jar or whatever. So I feel really good about my situation. I'm not necessarily worried. In fact, you guys' reading is really inspiring me a lot, because I feel like if you do the work and you're patient, because the Hermit can represent being patient as well, things will come around, things will turn around. Okay. And they'll get better. Also, I do feel that a lot of you Aries did break free of something. The Hermit lets me know that you broke free of something just recently, whether or not it was your mind. Maybe some of y'all got out of jail. Maybe some of y'all got off of probation. Maybe some of y'all just got out of, something that you just did. Maybe you left your company, or you could have gotten promoted. But the thing of it was I think that what you guys did was you just kind of kept to yourself and stayed focused. And I do see that a lot of you have recently had success. Okay, so just stay focused, but just really have trust. Okay. Moving on to the Tauruses. You guys got the Knight of Wands. Let me clarify this. Spirits, give me some clarity. Yeah, the Judgment card, the Eight of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. First of all, if there's some sort of contract that some of you are signing, and you just want to be careful because I can see you leaving whatever it is. It could either be the company. I do believe that Mercury is in retrograde. Am I mistaken or not? I can't check that. Why y'all not chatting? Y'all ain't saying nothing. The chat is just dead. Let me see. Okay, anyway. Tauruses, you guys got Judgment. And so I do feel as though Judgment was in your favor for whatever it was. The Judgment or Karma card could represent something legal going on for the Tauruses. I do see you guys being victorious in that situation. And I do feel as though you are rising above negativity, but you're still dealing with like the negative karmic effects of something. So this is something that may have occurred maybe 1 to 8 months ago for a lot of you Tauruses. And you didn't use very good judgment when you did it and when you were in that situation. So a lot of you guys are learning and you're realizing how that situation affected something else. And you're dealing with it, and you are going to be victorious because you did get the Ace of Swords. But I feel like this emotional like energy around the Tauruses, okay, that has something to do with legal or either a relationship that maybe you had gotten involved with again and it kind of hurt you real bad. So now you guys are, I feel like a lot of you are in overdrive, trying to work off that negative karmic situation, or either like for example, if one thing fell through, you're taking another road. Okay, so for example, like if you had to change, let me give you like just a general example. If you had to change cell phone companies, okay, or something like that. But it could be something else. It could be house, it could be car, it could be a bankruptcy that some of you may have had to file for the Tauruses. Okay. The Eight of Cups, the good thing about the Eight of Cups is it means that you're not losing, you're gaining. The only thing that you may be losing is negativity right now. But that's it. I feel like you guys are walking towards a better direction. And so I feel like even though the energies of that judgment is still around you, I feel like you will have a victory, okay, in whatever the situation is. But you can tell that it's affecting you. How negativity is affecting the Taurus is that it's either some kind of legal thing, or it could also be bill collector. Okay, maybe it's some money that was owed, or bankruptcy. Okay. All right. Geminis, you guys got the Knight of Cups. Let me exhale, y'all. Spirit guides, give me some clarity on the Knight of Cups. Yeah, the Gemini, the Cancer, and the Leos all got court cards. Well, and the Tauruses. So I got to clarify them. Okay, so for the Gemini's patience, the Temperance card comes up, the Six of Pentacles, and the Star card. So I feel like there's something that your heart desires and you want it, but you're going to have to be patient, whatever it is. Whatever it is, quit trying to force it. And then also you need to put as much positive energy into it as possible and you'll get a return on it. I feel like the star card also represents where negativity may have affected you to where it could have affected your solar plexus, or it could have affected your intimate relationships. And so I feel like it must have been some sort of insecurity or something, is what spirit is telling me. And this sort of caused you to be a little bit, I don't want to, I will say impatient, but also codependent. Could be some codependency. Okay, so negativity may be, and then also I will be honest with you, the temperance card could represent some sort of addiction. Could be alcoholism. By the way, the Taurus is too. You guys, maybe you were drinking a little bit too much. Instead of having one or two glasses per day, you were having like eight. What's up, Nancy? Y'all was having like eight glasses, and it was like, oh God, this is like, yeah, it's helping me. But, I feel as though you need your clarity. You need to like drink plenty of water. The star card does represent drinking water and then offering water to the spirits. I had a conversation with the angels the other day, and I was doing readings for myself, and they told me to give offerings to the angels, that the angels like to be offered water. Okay. So, like, for example, a bowl of water as an offering, or some people go even far as to getting a fountain. Fountains bring in very good energy. That's why it's good to have them in your house. Okay. Or either outside your house, like a fountain or a bird bath or something. Is what spirit, I know that that sounds weird, but these are things that you can do to help yourself. And then also the star card does represent healing from something. Could be a relationship, or it could be your finances that you're trying to fix. Could also be that you're trying to fix your credit. And that actually takes patience, unless you have a bunch of money, to pay stuff off. And I've been there, done that. I've had money to where I could just pay off, about $1,000, and it will increase your credit score. Some of these places will tell you that it won't, but yeah, it do, because I saw it. I paid off some stuff. I had to pay off this one thing. So um some of y'all could be doing a debt consolidation program or something. So this is clearly based upon financial. Okay, the financial aspects. And you know what, guys? I got my credit score up to 640 last year, even though I slipped again. My credit score was at 640, and that was the highest that it has been in years. So, mm-hmm. So, those things are good, but yeah, that's what spirit is telling me, okay, about the Geminis. Okay. Cancers. I feel like the Queen of Cups is representing that negativity could be affecting your stomach or your heart. And it's stress. I feel like it's stress. And like a lot of the cancers, y'all need a spa day, okay? Or either a cleansing. Get you a cleansing and then go to the spa. Okay, something like that, because Queen of Cups, it's just what she's telling me. She's saying, take a little breather, take a nice hot bath. Everything that cancers do, they form. It's a sentimental thing when it comes to cancers. Okay. Hey, Crown One says sounds legit. You're funny. I'm going to do some clarifying though to look at the specific situation for the Cancers. Spirits, give me some clarity for the Cancers. And see, you can't allow negativity to affect you. That's just like what my landlord did. I can't allow that to affect me. If it's still affecting me in any way, then I got to write it down on a piece of paper and put my name. I don't have to do work. I don't have to put a curse on him. I ain't got to do nothing like that, but I can clear myself of that negativity and keep it moving. Because I did get closure yesterday, but I need to write it in stone. So spell work can be very powerful. Okay, so Temperance, King of Wands, and the Four of Pentacles. Let me throw out a couple of more cards. Okay, so I'm going to keep it real with you. The Four of Pentacles is the card that represents possibly dealing with either a slumlord, a crooked attorney, a crooked drug dealer. It could be a many of things. But I feel like Temperance and King of Wands comes up because a lot of you Cancers, you truly do need to be more patient, number one. And also, I feel like what King of Wands is saying, he's saying don't let anybody bully you. I feel like narcissistic people seem to be affecting you. I can see somebody that's a narcissist. They're either a fire sign, water sign, or an air sign. If it was just Temperance and not the Four of Pentacles, I would say, but this is definitely somebody that's taking more than they are giving. They owe you more than that. So I do feel as though there's a spirit guide here that's telling you that either you are going to part ways or maybe you just need to get some rest and get some peace and stuff, maybe do some meditating. Because like I said, I do feel like it's causing a lot of you Cancers like a little bit of stress because all of a sudden I just felt the weight of the freaking world on me. It was so bizarre. And I know that is a common Cancer complaint. It's a common Cancer complaint as far as with dealing with negativity, is that people seem to put their negativity onto us. Or, I'm not even going to lie to you. I can see somebody doing work on you too, Cancer. So beware of that too. And this could either be an ex or somebody's definitely doing some work on you. And you know what? It's not positive. It's more, if somebody's doing love work on you, it's for domination and it's for the sole purpose of having supply. Okay. So I would be careful with that. It's okay. Believe it or not, your zodiac chart can tell me a lot about if you are vulnerable to spiritual issues and attacks. So this lets me know that somebody definitely is feeding off of your spiritual energy and it's not good. It really isn't. This ain't even somebody you have to talk to. A lot of people think that it's somebody that you're talking to. No, this could be your ex mother-in-law. This could be your ex from Timbuktu years ago. You got somebody that's holding on really tight, but the reason why they're doing that is because they want to use you for something. See, that's what I can see somebody trying to use you. So be careful with that because that within itself is very stressful. And King of Wands is saying that it's not something that you just have to accept. This is not treatment that you just have to accept. Okay. So narcissism is affecting the Cancers. We are excellent supply for narcissists because we are very compassionate and patient, okay? But sometimes you do have to say, wait a minute. And so a lot of you do need to do cord cuttings, okay? Because some people are slick. Any way to form a cord to you is what they'll do. And they'll go through other people to form a cord to you as well. They'll go through other people through any means to form a cord so they can spiritually feed off of you. There are actual interdimensional beings that go this way. What's up, Donovan? Okay. Moving on to the Leos. You guys got the Knight of Pentacles. So right off the bat, I feel like financially, a lot of you Leos are being affected by something. Spirits, give me some clarity. Okay. Four of Wands, the Death card, and the Queen of Wands. And who's after her? Up. Got the Queen. Got two Queens and the Hermit. Your relationships are definitely being affected by y'all got to figure out how to fix this, because I've been seeing this for quite some time for the Leo. This was either I feel like it could possibly be some kind of spiritual contract that you may have formed with somebody that you probably shouldn't have trusted, or it could be a job. Okay, it could be a job. It's some sort of entity, and this is really deep. I can see this for the Leos. The card symbolizes that the situation is over. And Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords, and the Hermit represents partially what your spirit guides are suggesting that you do, but then also the isolation that was surrounding that situation. And see, if you're very isolated, if a person is doing things to you mentally, spiritually, physically, if they are doing things to you to cause you to be like isolated from society and some kind of outcast. And see, this can be like, for example, it can be as simple as what I'm going through. People, discriminating against my business, because I'm a woman, number one, and then I'm a psychic. Okay. So, and it makes no sense because, to be honest with you, this is big business. I think that if I worked for California Psychics, I would have no problem. But because I am independently owned, it can be a little bit more challenging. So that's an example of feeling like you're kind of like outside and, of having to go alternative routes and stuff. Okay. Something just recently ended that had something to do with your money. Some of you may have grew though. I feel like a lot of you guys had to switch. Like, for example, if you got one of those net spend business accounts, well, guess what? Sometimes net spend only allows you to make like 3,000. Some of these companies only allow you to deposit 3,000 to 5,000 per month. So if you were able to make more than that, you had to limit yourself with that particular situation because of the contract you were in. You weren't really able to grow because of that, okay? It's also stress. I get more of those symptoms. Like, I'll start to do that due to stress and depending on what energies I've connected with that day. And I'm telling you, that one woman that I spoke with was just really negative. I mean, she was just, and even though she wasn't really saying anything negative, but it was just like, I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, I should have threw it right back at her and asked her, do you think I'm stupid enough to go for that? Like, I should have done that, but I'm not gonna, yeah, that's what I wanted to say to her, but I didn't. Anyway, I feel like for the Leos though, a lot of y'all may have just ended relationships too, because the relationship may have been draining you. Okay. And it may have been making you get very cloudy. I know that a relationship should not cloud your vision. It shouldn't. It shouldn't, and I feel like a lot of you walked away because it was. And it's like I said, sometimes when you have goals to achieve, especially if it's not your husband or whatever, you just, like these men that want to hook up and let's have sex, baby, and stuff like that. It's like, that's not what my focus is on. I'm focused on something else. And, it can be difficult, it really can, because especially if you're a woman, a lot of these men, they just want you to be barefoot, pregnant, or either homeless and destitute. That's the only way they feel good about themselves. They want to see you struggle. Okay, so for me, I have a really, really hard time with trusting men right now, especially right now with this gender war going on. And then also with Mercury retrograde happening. So, it's kind of like if you're not coming to me and giving me $1,000 a week, it wouldn't be worth it me trying to have a sexual relationship with you. That's how I feel about it. Because I feel like sometimes sexual relationships with people can bring you down too. They can have a negative effect on your life. So a lot of you Leos did have a relationship or an involvement with somebody. Either they were a fire sign, they could have been a Scorpio in particular, but a water sign, or either an air sign. Or it could have been an earth sign. It was almost like, they wanted to destroy whatever you were so that they could fit their own narrative for them, but it didn't fit in or it didn't jive with you. So I feel like a lot of you are walking away from that situation and saying, screw this. This is stupid because you're going to try to ruin my dreams, or either make or cause some kind of struggle for me. You're not supportive. This is somebody that wasn't supportive. So, their energy in your life created a domino effect that has led you to being in a place where you don't want to be around them. You ready to separate yourself. You like, I can do better by myself, which a lot of the times we can. Some people come into your life to just be bad luck and negativity. And that's all that they've shown you. And that's all that and some people are not doing it on purpose, but maybe some of them are. All right. Virgos, I feel like you're having problems in the house. You're having structural problems in your house. If you're renting from somebody, they could be a slumlord. The Nine of Pentacles comes up for you guys. So I feel like whatever negativity that you're dealing with is directly affecting your humble abode. You guys might need money for repairs. Let's do some clarity. Spirits, give me some clarity. Also, many of you Virgos are single and doing it on your own, which is better than doing it with somebody that's just going to bring you down. So I totally get that. Spirit, give me some clarity for the Virgos. Okay, Ten of Cups, the World, the Page of Swords, and the Emperor. Many of you are trying to get home loans, and I do see you being approved, but you may have to go outside of possibly even outside of the United States. I don't know how many of y'all know about home financing from other countries or something in the United States. I'm guessing that could happen. Or, maybe I feel like it does have something to do with travel as well. So I do feel like there may have been some negativity, but I feel like there's another avenue. And then also I feel like whatever this is, it is meant to make you stronger. It's not meant to make you weaker. So I do see you getting some good news coming from either a lender or whatever it is that you need that involves with money, I do see an approval. I can see somebody helping you out because the Emperor comes up. Okay, so some of y'all even need loans. I feel like if you keep looking and you just be patient, you'll find what you're looking for. Why did YouTube send me that notification? Was it really necessary to send it? Talking about some story that I did. Okay, so I feel like you are going to get an approval. But I feel like what I can tell, because, Virgos tend to worry about things, but I feel like you don't need to worry about it, because I feel like what I can see, in particularly coming up around the next several days, is you'll see things come together the way they're supposed to. Okay. All right. Libras, you guys got the Ace of Wands. So you guys are starting over. Someone may have drained the hell out of you, and you're getting back on your feet. Spirits, give me some clarity. By the way, every reading we're going over negativity. So we're dealing with everybody's negativity. So if you get a negative reading and you're like, oh God, no, everything is perfect for me, I've got everything is tight, then this reading isn't for you. Okay. This is for if people are being affected by negativity. All right, so you got 2 8s, 8 of Wands, the Hanged Man, and the 8 of Cups. So again, like I said, this is somebody that you're trying to quickly move away from. They were holding you back. They were stopping your progress. And even though you had an emotional connection with them, you had to keep it moving because, you wanted something, success, and then the devil comes up. So this is something. There is some obsession surrounding this, maybe even a sexual relationship of some sort. But what I can tell you is that I'm sorry. I'd rather have closure on the situation. For some of you, it may be a legal situation. I do feel that within the next couple of weeks, you are going to get closure on that situation. So in the meantime, you don't necessarily I think that some people, the way that they deal with their issues is they just sit and think about it and think about it and think about the problem and think about, well, just relax and calm down. But it is somebody that you need to walk away from. You can't hold on to everybody. Okay. You got to let some people go, because some people can have a devastating effect on your life. Okay. All right. Scorpios, the 5 of Swords comes up. I see a lot of y'all just with headaches, dizziness, arguments, disputes, feeling conflicted. Spirits, give me some clarity for the Scorpios. The Chariot, the 9 of Swords, and the 7 of Wands. So you guys are getting blocked. A lot of Scorpios have blockages. A lot of you, first of all, some of you may be having car trouble. That's number one. You know that bad spirit affects how your car runs. Okay, bad spirits. I already did Gemini. Gemini was 3rd, so you can go back. So also, I feel as though a lot of you are ready to move forward. You're ready to move forward. The 9 of Swords comes up and the 7 of Wands. Like I said, you can clear a situation from your subconscious so that you can keep it moving. But then sometimes when you do that, another issue will come up. Well, then you want to clear that. And then, so you got obstacles right now. And I do feel that it has something to do with either physical location, moving, being able to get around in your car. There may be something going on with it. Advice for the Scorpios. The High Priestess. So y'all got some spiritual blockages, and those are quite common, and you don't have to accept them, okay? You don't have to accept them. For example, my landlord kind of did me dirty, very, very dirty, tried to affect me and injure me by, um, by opening a case against me. Like I said, it was settled and everything is cool. I don't have an eviction. I'm still moving at the same time that I wanted to move, but it's just the point that it's there. So it's up to me to make sure that it's not an obstacle. And sometimes you do have to use spiritual work. Like today, I've been calling around and stuff and just been like, I haven't contacted it. I'll tell y'all about that later. But yeah. So it can really, really, cause obstacles when people do things like that. But see, writing it down and setting your intent, is really important because things will work out for you. They always do. Okay, let me tell you, because that was an amazing court date that I went to. It was really nice. Okay. Sagittarius says, I feel like emotionally you guys were affected by something that must have hurt you. Or it could be a new relationship that you've gotten into. Also, for the Libras, I meant to say that a new relationship could be affecting you negatively. Definitely for the Sagittarius is a brand new love relationship is affecting you. And spirits do see it affecting you in the future. Spirit, give me some clarity. Sometimes you can fulfill your heart, but then at the moment, but then it can end up being unfulfilling later on. Yeah, Hangman, Hangman, the Magician, and the High Priestess, and the Two of Swords. So, I do feel as though there could be a new relationship that's going to hold you back. I feel like this person is extremely manipulative. They're either a water sign, in particular, a Cancer, could be a Pisces, or it could be a Gemini specifically. Spirits can see this person affecting you in the future negatively. Yep. Something to do with your money and whoever this is. The Three of Pentacles comes up, and then the Three of Swords was right after that. So spirits feel as though this person is going to have a negative effect on your life and that it's going to be a false thing anyway. You're going to find out that it's not real. You're going to find out that it's kind of something that you just need to let go of. Come on. Hold on, you guys. Okay. Y'all hear me? It's going to affect you down the line. I feel as though you may want to cut the cord now before they affect you negatively in the future. Don't say you. Okay, Capricorns, you guys got the Seven of Swords. So right off the bat, that tells me that a lot of you are scattered. You can't think straight. You can't concentrate. Totally thrown off. So negativity is affecting you guys. The Scorpios, the Capricorns, and the Aquariuses are currently directly out of these last ones that I'm doing being affected. So you're seeing the affliction right now. Spirits, give me some clarity. And so are the Cancers. Okay, I don't know who that is. They can go to voicemail. Okay, so Capricorn, something to do with either your husband or your father, especially if you are a female. I feel like this person has been trying to tear down your business, tear you down as an individual. This is either an Aries in particular or another fire sign, or it could be air, definitely air, Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius. But see, these are spirits as well. But see, if a person is going to continuously carry out the agenda of a negative spirit, then you got to cut that person out, because some people are just not in control. Okay. You can do better by yourself. I feel like in the next several days, you're going to see things manifest. You got some negative subconscious blockages, some discouragement. I can see the action. I can see an older, or it's either an older person or either somebody that presumes to have power over you that is, oh, I was going to think of it, that is literally being a blockage and directly affecting you. Advice for the Capricorns. Okay, so the Six of Cups comes up. Spirits, I'm not real sure, but I do feel like the Six of Cups does represent looking at the past and looking at what that person did in the past. Yeah. Spirits are saying that, there was a time that you were happy also in the past. And when this person seemed to came along, they just kind of messed your head up real bad. Especially if it's an air sign. I don't know what it is about air signs. I don't know, guys. They love to keep people stressed. For some reason, they love to cause stress. Okay? In some kind of way. All right. So you guys know what to do with that. Either you want to be blessed or you want to be stressed. One or the other. You want to be happy. You want to be chill. You want to be tranquil. Sometimes you got to cut people off or either deal with a spirit or something. And some people it's just them. Especially if you've done all the work that you're supposed to do on yourself. But then that person, the crowned one said air signs are crazy. I see them affecting people negatively all the time. Especially in the readings. All the time. All right. Aquarius is, you guys got the 8 of Swords. So it is something. Feel like negativity is holding you back by keeping you in a certain position to where you're not able to grow. This is another subconscious blockage. I feel like you guys are feeling in bondage. Literally, you guys are feeling bound. And somebody has done some bindings on you. I feel like for a bunch of you Aquariuses, the binding originated when you were a child. Or it could go back, it could date back to several years ago, up to 8 years ago. Spirit, give me some clarity for the Aquariuses, please. Yeah, 5 of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, and the Magician. So, this was a person that felt like they were going to use you for their own purpose, kind of gutted you, that drained you, binded you up. You guys may or may not be either having financial or either health problems. Okay, crowded one is like, yes, exactly. Well, I feel like this 5 of Pentacles and this Magician, guess what? Somebody done put a hex on you. You got a root on you. This is either an air or an earth sign. So I'm going to ask why. Why is that, spirits? Okay, so the Emperor comes up. It has a lot to do with your energy. And what the Emperor is telling me is that that person wants to take your position. Yeah, the Justice card comes up too. And the Judgment or the Karma card. So you already like, okay, when this person does you dirty or when they show signs that you not necessarily having your best interest at heart, then most of you guys already knew this about this person. Okay. And you chose to, you know, get personally involved anyway. But I do feel like a lot of you do have some sort of hex on you, and a binding can be a hex, because if you bind somebody, you can say, okay, well, I bind you to where, you can't do this or you can't do that, and this is for my own purpose. So sometimes you can use, well, not sometimes, all the time, you can use spiritual work to unbind yourself and unhex yourself. A binding is a hexing. If somebody's binding you to not do harm to them, that's different. But if somebody is binding you to the point where you can't fulfill your own destiny or your own vision, to the point where they're blocking your vision, okay? So I don't know why people do that. If it has nothing to do with you, why do you care? But they're controlling people. I feel like it's a controlling person. Okay, now I want to tell y'all this. If you are an Aquarius that has done that yourself, it is because it is being done to you. So then you go and you do it to others because it's being done to you and you haven't figured a way out of it. And also, just to let you guys know, when you're binded like that and when somebody is controlling your energy in that way, it affects how people perceive you. So it can actually close doors for you, as well as it'll keep you within certain limits to where you're limiting yourself constantly. Okay. Yeah, it could definitely be insecurity, absolutely. But I mean, if they're able to do it though, like it looks like that person has been successful at doing it, especially with if this is you and you're the Eight of Swords. Well, you may not crown one, but there are some people that will do that. And I do feel like a lot of Aquariuses must be getting negatively manipulated, such as Capricorns. So if you're wondering why people are seeing you in sort of a negative light, then there's been a hex that has been put on you. And so even if you have a different intent, people will still take it in a negative way. So I feel like it's affecting also how people perceive you, which can be very difficult because we're all vibrational. So, for example, whatever you are pursuing, okay, let's say that you're pursuing to get into college. Let's say that you are pursuing to get hired somewhere. A person can put a binding on you and it will be a hex, and it can affect the way you perceive things. It can affect the way other people perceive you, and it can have a negative effect on your life. So is that understandable? Like, for example, for some reason, and this is so bizarre. I've never had anything that's like that. But for example, it was obvious that there was some enemies that, you know, I guess wanted to see me homeless or something. I don't know what the obsession is with that, but and so, I know for a fact that there are several people doing work on me. So what I have to do is, I would have to send that energy back. You see what I'm saying? You have to reverse it and send it back and put your intent on it. You know other people's intent. So here's the thing, you got to understand that whenever the magician card comes up in a reading, that means that somebody is using esoteric knowledge on you. Why are they doing it? No one ever knows it. Why don't they just go and live their life and leave people alone? Nobody, if we knew that, the only thing that is a good explanation for it is that negative spirits are affecting those people and working through those people. And this is the reason why they're able to even, cause obstacles, but you can quickly and easily remove those obstacles. especially when it pertains to anything that has anything to do with your personal well-being. You see what I'm saying? So, for example, if it's something dire or somebody's sending you some diabolical energy and, they're trying to, do a Josephine Baker story on you, you can use spirit, you can use esoteric um, energies and powers to remove those obstacles. Is that understandable, you guys? Or y'all following me? Everybody got quiet. Is that understandable? Okay. I guess nobody has any questions. Yeah, just to let you guys know, a lot of people don't want to believe in witchcraft, but it actually does work, and people are doing witchcraft all the time. It just depends on the person. The result of the witchcraft is going to depend on the person, and it's going to depend on the person that's casting it. I would say that in 99% of the cases that I've done where a witch was doing work on you, I've removed it within hours, literally within hours. And you'll see the situation start to turn itself around within hours. Okay. So it's not something, if it's something that is an emergency, it's not going to take several weeks or even several days to resolve itself. It'll resolve itself very quickly. Okay. So, and that energy, it can either be sent back to the person. Typically, if you have a practitioner doing things like that, or just a random person, or your cousin, or your auntie, or your neighbor, then 9 times out of 10, that very same thing is already affecting them. So sometimes it does you no good to send it back. We just clear out the energy and the blockage and send it to hell, or wherever we got to send it. You're welcome, Crown One. Okay. Last but not least, we got the Tower. Now, Pisces, y'all got a lot going on. The Tower represents when, the Tower kind of represents when it rains, it pours. Every single thing that you put out into the universe seems to be coming back to you. And that's okay. Okay. That is okay. The one thing that I always tell people is to not be scared, because it's a process, and let's do some clarity, because the Tower is pretty big. I feel as though the Tower does represent possible judgment from God, and which in my opinion is yourself, but these are things that need to be dealt with. Okay, let me ask spirits, what is it, Spirit? Give me some clarity for the Pisces. Can y'all hit the thumbs up, by the way, too? I'd appreciate it. I need to unblock the ratings on my things because I haven't been doing that. Knight of Swords, Page of Cups, the Empress. So it feels like you're going backwards, but in reality, what is happening is God, or either the Most High, is removing things from your life. It's actually removing obstacles. And this is the way you turn negative into positive. Whatever happened, it may feel like it set you back, but it was necessary for the change that is coming. So I truly feel like God is removing all of the BS, like all of the people that was full of crap, all of the crap. Knight of Swords comes up. Knight of Swords is typically moving backwards. Okay. Page of Cups is coming through to deliver. This is you asking for what you want. And then the Empress comes up. So I do feel like it does have something to do with a job. For example, if a lot of you lost your job, okay, the reason why you lost that job is because something bad's getting ready to happen up there, or something like that. Or maybe they're getting ready to, maybe it's going to be something that's going to happen, or maybe there's another opportunity out there for you that pays more, but you were kind of stuck there because you was like, okay, I'm using whatever I have, to get to wherever I want. But, you were afraid to sort of move out of that situation because you weren't sure what was out there. So you held on to that situation longer than you would have, but now it kind of, the house of cards are coming down. And now you're realizing, okay, this was a bad situation anyway. Especially if you got like crazy jobs and you done went to a spiritualist and they done did all kind of work and put protection around you and remove some hexes that some of your co-workers may have put on you. So when that happens, and then all of a sudden, okay, I've lost my job, but there's a new opportunity that's getting ready to come to you and it's better. So, the one thing that I can tell you is that everything happens for a reason and it's just fate. That's what that Tower card represents. I do see money coming your way. For some of you, it could be a baby. I think if you were to conceive a child around this time, it could either be a Cancer or it could be a Gemini, Cancer, or a Leo. So some of you probably are going to get pregnancy news. It could be something happy like that, unless you don't want a child, then it wouldn't be happy. You'd be upset. But, it could be a relationship, but I feel as though if it is a relationship, the reason why this person is being removed is because the spirit is giving you what you asked for. So you got to remember that spirit is giving you what you asked for. You may have asked for expansion. You may have asked for peace and prosperity. You may have asked for, wealth. And it's like, okay, well, this person definitely, or this person that carries this energy is definitely not going to be a part of that journey. So when you do that, you have to consider, okay, for example, let's say that you were on an endeavor to where you had to travel to Paris for an internship or something, and you were going to make, like a Bombay salary. And you got some people, back in the day from the hood. And, for some reason, people that you knew in the past, for some reason, they have a interest of stopping you. And no one understand, like, what is wrong with you? Why can't we all grow? What is the problem? And because that person is not where you're at, they for what you asked for. So this is the reason why spirit moved that person out of your life. It wasn't anything to be cruel. I mean, you can be emotional about it and say, "Oh my God, I miss that person." But okay, you're going to get so much more in return. It's not even that you're not even sacrificing that person, because to be honest with you, what was the sacrifice? They were fake anyway. I'd rather have fake I'd rather have the things that I want in life than fake friends. I'm sorry. I can't. Spirits, give me some clarity on the Knight of Swords. So y'all got some deep shit going on, Pisces. Yeah, the Death card. It was possibly an air sign or either a water sign, or it could have been an earth sign in particular. I'm sorry. It could have been an earth sign in particular, a Taurus. Or it could be an air sign in particular, a Aquarius or a Gemini or a Libra. So it could have been either one of those in that order. Okay, because the Death card comes up. Okay. Oh, my Sprite got watered down, y'all, but it's all good. So that's just what it is with that. I do feel as though whoever this is, if you want to move forward, you may have to close the door on that relationship. Sadly, it's the truth. If that person would change and get to where you're at, yeah, the Ace of Swords comes up, but they're stuck. stuck. They can't get out of that. They not gonna understand what you mean by, ROI, return on investment. They're not gonna understand what you mean by all of that stuff. And unfortunately, you cannot mix both worlds. I have found that out. This person, whoever they are, you can tell that there's a lot of intense emotions around this person, but they cannot change. They haven't, and they probably won't change at least for another year or another 10 years. The Ace of Swords came up. They have to master their mind. Everybody that you deal with, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a demon, but it could be a spirit. There are a lot of people that are very spiritually sensitive, and they can be afflicted by negativity and entities and stuff and flip out on you and bring you down and, cause a disaster in your life. Okay. But this person needs to rise above. That's just like, I'm sorry, when you become successful in life, well, probably if you don't fit in with folks in what they call the hood, if you kind of never fit into that situation, then that's fine. But what if you were in that situation, but God wanted you, but you wanted to change, and then God heard your prayers, and then he had to remove, not physically, they don't have to die, but, so y'all know what I'm talking about. People that don't have a connection. For this Tower card to come up means that you have, if you guys notice, in the Tower card, what does it have at the top of it? It has a crown. Y'all see that? So the Tower can represent crown chakra opening. And I feel like a lot of you guys could do that, because I feel like this is where you are receiving the things that you want, but then, it seems like your mind tends to go back, or you get distracted. Nobody should ever distract you from your creativity or your work that you're doing. Nobody should ever do that. Who are that? I don't like for folks to interrupt me when I'm doing rituals and stuff, or when I'm doing readings and stuff, unless unless it's my kids or something. But if it's some outside influence or something, it's like you're kind of, distracting me in a negative way, and you're being negative. I feel like whoever this is, they're very negative, and you cannot manifest that way. You cannot manifest with negative energy. You can transmute it, yes, but it only to a fault. If the negative energy is tearing you down, let's face it. Let's face it. And nobody is immune to being torn down by negative energy. None of us are statues. We're not. Even though we are spiritual beings and we can be very strong, it comes a time when you have got to say, you know what? Screw all this struggle. I'm tired of struggling. When you vibrating on a high level, and then somebody wants to come and bring you down, that's not good. Spirits, clarify Page of Cups. Okay, so the Page of Cups is actually a spirit guide. It's probably me that's talking through. It's using me as a catalyst. The Eight of Pentacles comes up. So spirits are saying to take that energy. And it's the same thing that I did. That's probably why I've been on you guys' reading for so long. When I felt that energy, what I began to do was transmute it automatically. And that's why I came on here to do the readings. And, already, I even feel better. Like I said, I'm going to go back and listen to my reading. I'm a Cancer. I'll usually listen to my Cancer readings, the Leo readings, the Virgo readings. I'll listen to the Geminis too, because I'm on the cusp of Gemini and Taurus. So I always listen to Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and Leo and Virgo. because all of those signs are in important areas in my chart. Okay, you're welcome. So, also another thing, if you guys were fired by a complete jerk, I can see a lot of y'all may have been fired, or something may have happened on the job. You guys are going to get a call back from a job very quickly. So if it's a job or if you have your own business, you guys are going to see business come in, because some people are there strictly as a blockage, and that is their intent. So that's why they're going to be a blockage, because that is what they intend to do. We can't always blame that on demons. Okay, but sometimes it is. It just depends on what came up in your reading. Whenever the devil card comes up or the magician, it can represent demons, okay, or some kind of demonic entity. But, something like this is just a person that does have a lot of strength and power in their mind, and they're strictly there to cause destruction. Destruction of your mind, destruction of your body, destruction of your spirit, destruction of your career. It's not good. So, I can assure you that I know that I'm right. And with the Empress coming up, this is where spirits are saying that you have a large amount of money that is coming, an abundance that's coming, because everybody wants abundance. Okay, they do. We can all sit up here and say that we don't, but we all do. Okay, well, you guys definitely do have that coming, but God moved those blockages literally. You probably asked for it. You probably said, God, please remove everything that is blocking me. And sometimes whenever you do that, the person that has the intent on blocking you is going to react. And they're going to say, well, why are you blocking me? I didn't do anything. And it's like, yeah, you did. Because I can see that this person does have an intent and is very focused on destroying your dreams and your life. Okay. So you got to be careful. Yeah, I can see new opportunities in business and getting hired. I feel like it is going to be coming up very quickly. This is in the month of October. Okay, so I can, and she can represent a sign-in bonus at a job, or either some kind of advance that you may get, or either clientele. People that have their businesses make a good amount of money, and regardless to what people say about us, we still do very well in what we do. And so, but this is what I can tell you. And this is another thing that Spirit is telling me, is that credit, everything, they got everything that's based upon credit sometimes. So you do want to, I feel like Spirit is saying to, pay off some of your, pay off some of your bills. Okay. Depending on what it is, especially if you have like certain debts. Debt can create blockages in money. Having debts. Yeah, having debts can create blockages in money. So I can see that you guys were dealing with your money. All right, guys. Thank you, Crown One. I like being called a spirit guide. That's actually what I am. If you guys need to reach me, the link to my website is below. But this is what I want to tell you guys. Contact me at my office number, because I still have a couple of more days, because I couldn't make it up there to my bank today. I'm going to go up there tomorrow, and I've got to take care of some things at the bank. And get things set up for that, get the ball rolling. But you can still make your payments. So just contact me and I'll give you instructions. Yeah, it is a good thing to do that and to stay on top of things. And I'm sorry, certain people just bring certain energies in. I've gotten quite selfish to where I don't like to spend my money. I have a tendency to do that sometimes, but you gotta be able to save your money. So sometimes when you carry in somebody else, it can cause you to lose money because you're not or lose credit or something, you know? Yeah. Well, that's fine. I'd be happy to help you whenever you get your coins together. All right, guys. I will see you guys later. Okay. Love and light.